I believe Ninban is is the higher seed. This is his choice of a seed, and we're underway.
Starting in opposite locations, obviously interesting. I was asking about that because obviously something like this, typically when you have like an inverted, which is already going to be harder than a normal seed. But on top of that, all dungeons tends to be more execution heavy kind of seed. So this would be something that you want to kind of implement as a higher seed to kind of flex your better ability at the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a map check there. All 3 pendants in the Dark World, as well as one of the red crystals. Looks like we had pendants at Pod and Skull Woods, and then the green pendant was at Thieves Town. Ninban is making an interesting play here. He's going to go to the back of Skull Woods. There is a guaranteed bomb drop location back here that he can use to farm some bombs. Looks like he's going to go for the middle chest first, though.
Yeah, this is like a pretty popular inverted play. You kind of beeline to Skullwoods. If you fall through the hole where you would normally get access to the big chest, you can get 2 bomb drops. That would be under skull pots.
Yeah, and the nice thing is since there's a pit right there, you can easily die a couple times to respawn those bombs.
Yeah, you can definitely farm a lot. And then, as you pointed out, Ninban is opting to go a little further in and checking out that what would typically be the big chest key there.
Yeah, unfortunately, just finds a small key. Not much there, but gonna most likely head right around to the front end. And there's a mushroom to start. Unfortunately, we cannot check that till we get to the light world. And that's going to be it for everything in the front of Skull Woods. We're going to have an item locked in the back.
Yeah, and there you see Ninban getting those guaranteed bomb drops there. And then dying as well. He'll probably grab a couple more. So that top left and bottom right pots always drop a bomb for you. And not only are bombs are obviously extremely valuable in any version of Randomizer, and inverted is no exception.
Yeah, with no weapon right now, those bombs are one of your few ways to actually kill some enemies.
Yeah, they're extremely useful for killing enemies, and then they also let you check items. So when they head down to Village of Outcasts, there's the bomb shack where you need a bomb to be able to check, and then there's also like Hype Cave and things like that, which takes two bombs to check.
So Ninban's finished up his farming, gonna finish checking out the front of Skull Woods, and almost likely move on. Yeah, the opening here is pretty bland as we're waiting for these runners to get to the bombs, do their checks. Ninban's went to Link's house. He's most likely now going to go to to Hype Cave right now. 5 items in there. All right, get your Hype Cave indexes in chat. Flippers. Okay, that gives us access to East Dark World. Oh, couldn't see the second chest. Or the last chest. The other 2 are rupees.
Yeah, so that puts the pyramid in logic as well as pod.
Also puts Ice Palace in logic. Well, nope, sorry, I'm wrong on that. You still need a fire source.
Yeah, we need a fire rod or bombos for pod to be, or Ice Palace to actually be, to give items.
I mean, you could go in to check a hint, but that's about it. We should see on Cfalcon's side what the other chests were. Oh, we also got the lamp. And a glove. Nice. Very nice hype cave.
I feel like that's actually probably a good time to point out one of the minor differences in the overworld is that you still walk up to Death Mountain as you would normally, so you need a glove and the lamp.
Yeah, that.
And when you walk into what would normally be Bumper Cave, you walk up towards Death Mountain, like the light world version, which is the old man cave.
Yep. So we can get up to Death Mountain. Can't do a lot up there yet. You can reach Aghanim's Tower that's been relocated to Dark Death Mountain, but without a sword that's not in logic just yet. So Ninban's doing some more farming. Only 14 rupees dig game isn't available yet. Or he might be trying to get 20 rupees so he can do the archery game.
Yeah, he's trying to do the archery game so that he can get the 80 rupees to the dig game. I don't know. I feel like I would be going up to Death Mountain for sure, but who knows?
Well, if you're good at the archery game, this can give you an advantage in inverted, at least early. And Ninban looks like he's been practicing.
Yeah, he hit five in a row there, which is obviously as good as you can do.
On the other side, we got Cfalcon. He's making the play into the Village of Outcasts.
And he keeps going. I don't know what exactly he's farming money for.
Maybe both pod access, but he's got more than enough now.
Yeah, pod and the dig game are like the early money sinks in this, which is only 180.
But on the other side, Cfalcon found a sword. That means Aga is in logic now. Now, to get to the light world, you generally need the same requirements as in the normal game. You'll need a glove, the moon pearl, and then either another glove or the mitts. Oh, but Ninban finds the boots.
Boots. That dig game there.
So that's going to pay off for Ninban. Nothing else that really opens from getting those boots right now, but having the faster movement is really nice. Oh, there's an ice rod. We absolutely need that since Turtle Rock is a crystal. And Cfalcon's going to dip out of Thieves Town after checking the first floor.
And Ninban is scoping out the Village of Outcasts, so he will find that fighter sword as well, which pairs obviously very nice with those boots.
And Chet did actually correct me. There is one item opened by the boots, and that is the one chest you can bonk to in Hookshot Cave. Yeah, without the Moon Pearl, there's not a lot of incentive yet to go to Aghanim, especially since you have plenty of places still to check. Now, Moon Pearl could be in the Light World. There are areas you can get to that it could be.
Yeah,
Let's see.
especially with the ability to kill Ganon opens up several Light World item placements.
Yeah, Cfalcon's actually going to make the climb up Dark Death Mountain. So he'll have to go to the Light World quick to return the old man. Then he'll most likely save and quit, and he'll get his third save and quit spot here. And then after that, he's got Super Bunny Cave, and he's also got that one chest in Hookshot Cave that are in Logic. Now, of course,
Yeah,
getting the Super Bunny Cave can be a little risky because you got to get past some Lionels.
And that's definitely a difference to be pointed out between inverted and like the normal. Well, I guess it's not even really a difference. It's just that like normally the cave that you would take at the bottom of the mountain would in the vanilla game would be Bumper Cave, but here it takes you to Old Man Cave.
And the old man gives you a 5 for helping him. We got Ninban, meanwhile, continuing through Thieves Town. Gotta be very careful here. He's down to half a heart.
And we have Cfalcon in bunny form. He's gonna jump down here. He'll be able to grab whatever item is in the Spectral Rock Cave, and he'll also be able to check the hint tile there. So before this most recent V30 update, you would go into the Spectral Rock Cave, see what item is here, and then if it was something important, you would jump down and grab it. But now most players will just jump down and grab it automatically because you also get to check a hint along the way.
Yeah, exactly. And being very careful with these crickets. They do 2 hearts of damage. Yeah, Cfalcon is continuing up Death Mountain. He will have to get past these Lionels, though, which can be very tricky, especially in hard mode.
Yeah, because Lionels don't take damage from anything less than like a level 3 sword or hammer. So you have to literally just avoid them. And at this point, with 3 hearts, they can one-shot you. So you have to be extremely careful.
I think actually the only way to get by them was what Cfalcon just did, and that is he had to basically damage boost by them. Get a peek on Turtle Rock. It is Ether to access. Well, you don't necessarily need Ether for Turtle Rock, but if you need to go in the front, you do need it. Let's see, Falcon is going to check these chests in Super Bunny Cave. And there's our mirror. That is interesting because that puts Laser Bridge in Logic. Actually, no, it doesn't put Laser Bridge in Logic yet because there's no info item. Meanwhile, Ninban is doing one of the big challenges in this version, and that is the 3-heart blind fight.
Yeah, for sure. So inverted, there's a pretty good chance that you're gonna have to fight blind or Mothula with low health. Ninban would be on the good side of things of having an actual sword instead of just like the hammer. But having already fought blind, because blind is the easiest the first time you fight blind. Like when you bring her into the room, you start the fight, you know how it's gonna go. Having lost in that situation, I think he's made a good call on leaving and checking out other things.
Yeah. Now there are some nice things we did see with on Ninban's side. I don't know if there was an item on Blind. He does have green pendants. Blind does have green pendants, so there will be an item from that eventually. but we also know he did not get the small key anywhere in the front or in the back, so the hammerlock chest will be nothing except the small key. Meanwhile, we're gonna get the grumpy fish. Grumpy fish has a 20. So, Cfalcon, he does not have the rupees yet for Pod. He can check the pyramid. That's most likely where he's going to go next. And this is where that advantage of Ninban doing the archery game is really coming into play. Because Ninban's had those boots for good 6-7 minutes now. And he also has plenty of money for Pod if he decides to go that way.
Yeah, I think Ninban might have over-farmed money there. But in the end, it's definitely going to work out for him. Because as you mentioned, he did get the boots. And then on Cfalcon's way down, he needs about 15 more rupees. And he definitely does want to check this pyramid, but like, you know, he also wants that money. He wants to go into Pod. Because worst case scenario, he finds out that it's locked and it's not worth anything. But right now, like, if he can't even get in there, it's not even a check.
What do we got in the pyramid? A blue boomerang. Unfortunately, yeah, he's not even going to grab it. Unfortunately, it loses some value in hard mode because it does not stun enemies anymore. So at this point, it looks like the only place these runners that's still in logic they haven't checked is Pod at this point. So Cfalcon's got to get some money to go to Pod. He might be going for the... Actually, he does have enough rupees at least now for the digging game.
Yeah, he's in the digging game. And he's going to get those boots, but then he's going to have to farm money.
Well, usually you can come out with more than you go in with at the digging game, at least.
Also, if Ninban up here on Death Mountain, this will be interesting because when he goes in here into Hookshot Cave, he will be able to check that one chest, which Cfalcon was unable to do because he didn't have boots.
Yeah, so that works out for Cfalcon well. He's got his Pod money now, and he's got his boots. Alright, Ninban's coming out. Gonna go check that Hookshot Cave chest. And it's just a big 20, so Cfalcon doesn't miss out on anything there.
So to a Palace of Darkness we go.
It looks like it, unless... Is Ninban gonna climb Aghanim's tower?
I mean, he could. I honestly, I have no idea what else he would be doing. Well... Yeah, what else could he be doing? I feel like that's...
Yeah, he's gonna climb Aga's tower.
I feel like that's kind of a bold choice if you have Aga's tower compared to Pod.
Although I think Cfalcon got the rupees in the chest game, and he wasn't too happy about that. So he's gonna go into the Ice Palace, but he can't go beyond the first room. He'll get a hint though. I think we already knew that. No, we knew a piece of heart was held by somebody friendly. Though we did. The old man had cached, so that might already be fulfilled. Now, this is a good if a pod is bow locked. This is a good move by Ninban. If it's not, we'll have to see what Cfalcon finds here.
Well, I agree with you, but it also depends on what pod is bow locked by. Like, you could still get something very useful. Like, Moon Pearl could be the first item in pod.
That is very true as well.
Although at that point, you would also have to do Haga Tower, so... It's one of those situations where both of these choices could be argued to be the correct one. And it just is a matter of how it plays out. Which we'll find out in about 2 seconds here.
Okay, we are not bow locked so far. Ninban gets a hint. Cash requires a cane of Samaria. Not really helpful.
That's actually somewhat helpful. Because either that refers to, like, it lets you know whether something, like, you know, killing Vitreous or those first 3 chests in Turtle Rock are not worthwhile.
I mean, Samaria can also refer to Ganon's tower.
That's true.
Oh, but Cfalcon finds the hammer in pod.
And another small key that will let him go further in.
So he's going to come and check this hint quick. Something sharp in Mimic Cave, so that is one of our other swords. So for Cfalcon, he can get the Tempered Sword now. Well, he can get the Tempered Sword once he has access to those locations.
Yeah. He knows that Uncle has one, because this is an Uncle-assured sword setting. And then when he does Turtle Rock, which is required, he can get Tempered Sword.
He's going to potion glitch into the right side. Meanwhile, Ninban is taking on Aga. Now, the other thing for Ninban, though, is since this is all dungeons, you have to kill Aga at some point anyway, so even if this wasn't the way to Dark Worlds, it still has to be done.
Yeah, that's a very important point to make, because, yeah, at this point, it doesn't really cost anything. Typically, when you have, like, a typical Ganon's mode, or, like, whatever, where you need the 7 crystals, there's kind of like a risk versus reward there. But at this point, when you have to do this, there's very little risk.
So Ninban is on the pyramid. I wonder if he's going to go for pod now as well. Cfalcon is continuing through pod. With the lamp now at this point, a lot of this is in logic. Basically everything except Helmasaur and the right side. So the big chest won't be in logic, but about everything else is. Oh! Okay, this is one of the most interesting pods I've seen now.
It was a very good call to potion glitch that, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, that wasn't even potion glitch locked. So he's back in logic now.
Well, yeah, obviously, it could not be potion glitch. The potion glitch allows you to bypass the bow requirement of pod. And obviously, if the bow is deep in pod, you aren't bypassing that. It just makes everything more convenient.
But now it also makes Ninban's checks a little rougher. He needs to get over to pod at some point. Oh, and there is the Moon Pearl. This is a loaded pod. So that is Light World access for Cfalcon.
Yeah, and again, as JP pointed out, doing Aegis Tower is necessary anyway, so Ninban didn't really lose time over that. He's just kind of at a disadvantage a little longer he waits to go to pod. Since he's on the lookout for the Moon Pearl. And in inverted mode, you can check quite a few places.
So, let's see, what we've had in this pod so far. We've had the bow, the hammer, the Moon Pearl, and Blue Mail. Whatever's on Helmusar King is the compass. So the 5th item wasn't particularly useful, but still. 4 of 5 items in pod being that good.
Yeah, I agree with Sonic in chat right now that Ninban is doing a lot of running around in bunny form. And it's costing him a lot of time compared to when Cfalcon checks these same locations in Light World. Where he will be able to be in normal form, he'll be able to dash around with the boots. And that can definitely be one of the tricky parts of this mode. Is when you get Light World access, compared to like a normal, like a standard or open mode with the randomizer, there's not a whole lot you can check in the Dark World. Like you have like the Pyramid of Power, and that's about it. In inverted mode, there's like a variety of locations that you can check in bunny form.
So Cfalcon is almost done in here. Just take out Helmusar. With the sword, Cfalcon can sword buffer this as well, so that helps. Yeah, Ninban is having trouble in the Super Bunny form here. Actually, I think he took the death potentially to... Yeah, he took the death so he can get back into normal form so he can check Hyrule Castle. I believe Super Bunny can be logic in inverted, but a death like this to get back to normal form is not in logic.
Yeah, this is not in logic. He died, so... Yeah, as you pointed out, he died and then came back as normal. Well, it'd be normal Link, but I guess Ultras in this case. So that he can check the rest of Escape. He knows this isn't logic. He knows he's not going to find Moon Pearl here, but it can give you a lot of information, depending on what you find.
Yeah, meanwhile, Cfalcon finishes off Helmusar, and he's the first one to take out a dungeon and get a pendant.
Yeah, and that was a pendant dungeon, but again, this is all dungeons, so it's something that was going to have to be done anyway.
Yeah. And that's what's kind of making Ninban's move a little more surprising, too, is that... Like, if this was defeat Ganon, I could see skipping pod a little more, but... I mean, it's a call, because if he came out, did Super Bunny stuff and found something good, then he'd been in a great shape right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. And as you mentioned, like, this makes Ninban's move surprising, is that, like, doing Hyrule Escape is almost the only thing that you don't have to do in an all dungeons run.
He does get a heart container from that, which is not insignificant. I mean, with limited heart containers available, every one is very valuable at this point. The Cfalcon's checking Sarsla's closet, green rupee, blue rupee, and some bombs. So yeah, Cfalcon's now going to go to do Eastern, which he has the ability to full clear right now. We did get one hint on Eastern that some cash is in here, but there's still 2 other chests. And unfortunately for Ninban, looks like his play into Hyrule Castle is not going to pay off beyond that heart container. It does have the Sanctuary chest, though. There's both green rupees in the seed.
So Ninban has fully explored Hyrule Castle. Now he's wandering the light world a bit more in bunny form. You really have to hope that he decides to go back to the dark world and go into pod.
Well, he's got his mirror out. He might do that. If he mirrors over here, he'd be in the pod area.
This is a good point. He could use that mirror to mirror over into pod and then explore Eastern Palace afterwards, which would put him on a that's a very unfortunate death.
And he's going back to Dark World now.
Yeah, feel like he's definitely going to pod, and then he may or may not check out Eastern Palace afterwards, but that seemed to be the path that he was on.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's still early. Cfalcon has an early lead at this point, but there's still a lot to play. So Ninban is by no means too far behind to catch up. He's still got plenty of time to make some moves and get back into this race. And this is hard mode, so you know, deaths are are definitely a possibility here.
Yeah, for sure. A lot could happen. And then Ninban does have the leg up in terms of Ega already being dead.
Unfortunately, Cfalcon having a little trouble in this room, so he's most likely going to full clear it to get to the switch. Did Cfalcon check the hint tile on this first pass through?
He did, but I didn't read it. He read it, but I did not.
According to our tracker, it wasn't anything important. Looks like it was a junk hint. So Cfalcon almost to the Armos Knights. Ninban is about to find all of the goodies in here. I believe he just got the hammer. He gets knowledge about where the third sword is, essentially. And Cfalcon going for these Armos Knights fight. Ninban is also going to potion glitch here.
You didn't go for a quick kill in either way. You can either get to the top right and kill that top right one and then shoot 2 more into the next guy and then shoot a bunch down to do a quick kill, or you can head into the bottom right and shoot a few to the left and then kill a bunch top like above. And Cfalcon did not do either of those.
He did finish off Eastern, though. Unfortunately, just had 6 rupees and 10 arrows as the items in Eastern. But it was needed. It is crystal, so you have to do it, so... 2 dungeons down for Cfalcon now. And it looks like... Oh, he's probably going to go for the Uncle Sword, get his Master Sword. Unfortunately, this is something that Ninban couldn't do because you have to lift a bush to get to Uncle.
Yeah, and then, so the game settings were an Uncle Assured Sword. So he knew that was there. And he's routing that in pretty intelligently. Master Sword does not really help against Eastern Palace Armis Knights, so it makes sense to grab it afterwards, and it's along the way.
Yeah, Eastern is one of the few dungeons you can get through completely without needing a sword. Ninban did a hammer jump to get into this area. Picks up his blue mail, his moon pearl. He's about to grab his bow. So, as these runners are going across spots that the others already been through, it's time to start asking where we should be going next. We still have plenty of light world checks to do. You know, we've got Kakariko with all the items it's got. Got Mini Moldworm Cave and some of the South Shore areas. In terms of available dungeons, I believe... Actually, they've got all of Death Mountain available to them now.
Yeah, for me, that'd be the play I would make is towards Hera.
Yeah, Desert's not available yet. You need the book. You 100% need the book in inverted mode to get to Desert. Hera's available. Swamp. Actually, the front of Swamp is available. Still need the hookshot for the back. Skull Woods, you need the Fire Rod. Thieves Town, they can complete at any point. Ice, they still need some Fire Source. Mire, likely will need a Medallion.
Shovel from the sewers for Cfalcon here. Could be interesting to see what that leads to. But yeah, I would say, at least for me personally, I think the best move to make from here is to head towards Hera. Where do you think they should head, JP?
I think you just do the Kakariko and mini Moldrum checks first, just because they're a little more concentrated.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's so weird for me to see it inverted. So there's like all of these, like Kakariko and Mini Mold RMK being still an option at this point is a little ridiculous.
Well, here's a change that in inverted mode, since you can't mirror up here. There's a staircase now to get up here, so you can check the Graveyard Ledge Cave.
And he does grab that 300 rupees, despite having enough money to buy everything he needs in the rest of the game. Which I guess also points out the fact that he does have Zora available and is in Logic. As well as the items around Zora. So the waterfall items are in Logic and available to him.
Actually, chat's saying that actually Death Mountain might not be available to them just yet because they actually need either the mitts or the hookshot to access all areas of Death Mountain. I'll see if Cfalcon's going to check the Lumberjack here quick. And Ninban's going to go back and finish off Blind. Just a red rupee on the Lumberjack, though. Here's Ninban round 2 with Blind. First phase down pretty well. Second phase down. Gotta be a little careful. And Blind is down. So Blind didn't have an item, but the green pendant does lead to something at Saharsala. And that is also Ninban's second dungeon done. So we've got Cfalcon clearing out Kakariko. Ninban, he's gonna also go. Let's see, he's gonna go to Kakariko as well. So we got rupees, 10 arrows. Oh, and our hook shots. So that's a good find for Cfalcon. Now that opens up more Death Mountain to him. So, actually, yeah. Looking at what they're at, actually, it's more appropriate just to consider Ninban's completed 3 dungeons since he's also done Agam 1, which is required. So it is more like a 3 to 2 dungeon count right now. Let's see, Falcon's checking through looking through the well. We've already seen most of this, though. We saw the chest behind the bombed wall as well. So they're both gonna finish these checks up. Be interesting to see where these runners go after Kakariko. I'm not sure exactly what their next move is going to be yet, if they're going to continue through some of the normal light world checks, or if they're going to start pushing for a few more dungeons. So Cfalcon gets a heart piece from the sick kid. And right now they're mostly just going back across areas that the other has not, or had already done. So far, for an inverted swordless seed, this has actually been... It hasn't been the worst I've seen for one of these runs. This has actually been somewhat nice to these runners. I've seen much worse for seeds like this. Yeah, Cfalcon's actually give us another check. We have not seen the shovel spot yet. Oh, and that's right. You can also check Cave 45 or Cave south of the Haunted Grove. Since you do not need the mirror to get to that either, they've lowered that ledge down for you. So I got a minute. For those of you who joined late, this is an all dungeons inverted Uncle Assured hard mode seed. Inverted is a new format introduced into the randomizer with V30. Basically, you start in the dark worlds. You have to get the moon pearl to get to the light worlds, along with the other usual requirements. And they've also made other changes to the game to make everything accessible. And then, of course, the other parts of that, all dungeons, you have to clear everything to finish the game. Uncle Assured means Uncle has a sword. And then hard mode is take a sword out, take a mail upgrade out, a shield out, and there's other things you also take out to make the game a little harder. Let's see if Falcon just cleared out the dam. We're gonna get some new checks here. A piece of heart down there. You're seeing that these runners pick up pieces of hearts anytime they see them, because the max health you can have in inverted mode is 14 hearts. So every little bit of health, every little bit of health helps.
Yeah, for sure. Typically, in like a normal difficulty, you would just skip that, because you're probably going to get enough health anyway. You're going to get more defense in terms of males, but here in hard mode, yeah, as you said, you 14 hearts tops, and that's including if you capture or if you collect all 20 heart pieces, and then you top out at the blue mail.
Now this is a nice play by Cfalcon, getting that hook shot in. Getting the hook shot in the Kakariko. He's going to take out Swamp Palace right now, which is fully in logic. So he's actually routing this incredibly well, routing his dam check into a Swamp Palace clear.
Yeah, he has the hammer, he has the hooker shot, he has the flippers. And again, with this being an all dungeon seed, there's no in an all dungeon seed, like as soon as you have a dungeon that's fully clearable, that's probably what you want to do. In a normal mode where you only want the crystals, there kind of can be like an aversion to clearing a dungeon if it's not required. But since all dungeons are required, it makes sense to do Swamp, because you're gonna get up to 6 items, and it's something you have to do anyway.
So you gotta be a little careful in Swamp. Some things hit a little hard, so you don't want to take damage. But Swamp, in terms of difficulty, is not too bad. It's a pretty controllable dungeon. In terms of their sword, it's going to be interesting to see if either of these runners elect to go to Mimic Cave anytime soon, just to get that Tempered Sword that they know is hiding there. This Tempered Sword is generally worth the upgrade. Ninban is doing some additional checks here. We did get the hint on this on the purple chest. It is just going to be a heart container. Of course, Ninban doesn't know that. He has not seen that hint yet. But still, a heart container is actually not a bad prize in hard mode. And Ninban's got some actually good routing here too. He's going to check the dig spot, the cave south of the grove, purple chest all at once. And Ninban forgets for a second that he can't bring the purple chest in here. Well, Cfalcon checking the western side of Swamp Palace. Just a blue rupee and the big key, so delayed to find out if it was worth it or not. Ninban will get us heart container. Looks like he might go check Agata first. Can't get in the desert yet. Though actually he can mirror to the Mire area.
Oh! We got the can of Samaria in that swamp big chest.
Very nice. That means that left side's trip was 100% needed. And yeah, speaking of going into Mire, there's the cane you need for Mire. Of course, we don't have a medallion yet, so can't get into Mire regardless. Unless Ninban just found the medallion for Mire as he found Quake. Unfortunately, he didn't show us what it was. Well, we got a quick glimpse of the edge, but I don't know if we saw enough to figure out what medallion that was. There's some more rupees for Cfalcon. He's about to go take on Argus. Ninban's going to check Aguna quick. Oh, I was mistaken. Quake was on the Smith's, Ether was in the Mire shed. So we have two medallions. Unfortunately, we did not catch what the medallion for Mire was. It was a little too far off Ninban's screen to see. But Ninban's going to come up here now and grab his Master Sword.
Yeah, it's curious to see where he will go from here. He has a ton of options available to him.
Oh, Cfalcon's got Argus down. There's his third dungeon done. And looks like Ninban is going to go for Eastern Palace now. You know, Cfalcon done with Swamp is going to go check Mini Moldorm Cave. Oh, a nice find by Ninban. He finds the powder on Saharsala. That opens up one location to check, and you can powder Anti-Fairy still in hard mode, though they'll just become hearts. The Mini Moldorm Cave, we find the book we need for desert access, as well as the single arrow. Which is never a bad thing to find in this mode now, because if you see in the hint about a unique item, now you know it's not the single arrow. But book's a nice find, because that puts all of desert in logic.
Yeah, and here we have him checking the Ice Rod Cave. And he might check out some of the flipper stuff after this, but I would not be surprised if he heads towards desert after this.
He's going to mirror here and check the hint. This is a hint that in normal mode no one ever really checks, but in inverted, you got the mirror here. This is a pretty quick check. Unfortunately, it was something he already knew.
The can of Samaria, and then yeah, because there's a can of Samaria that was in that chest, and then he shows it off to the hint.
So yeah, unfortunately, not a needed hint, but it was still a good check since you're right there to grab the hint. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do some of the flipper checks now. Or if you want to say, the raft checks. It's gotta be a little weird to be the raft in this mode, because I mean, just not being able to see which way you're facing, that's gotta be a little weird. Heart piece from the hobo gets him to 7 hearts, though. Gonna check this island and then head up to the Zora area. There's another staircase added in inverted mode, so you can access that island if it has something. Yeah, Swerve, I was mentioning this a little earlier. For an inverted hard seed, this has actually not been too bad logically.
Oh yeah, for sure. Other than like the required trip in the pod, nothing too bad so far.
Yep, we didn't have to do any low percentage bosses here, so that's always nice to see. Ninban's gonna take out the Armos Knights, going for the quick kill. He gets the quick kill as Cfalcon gets a blue potion from Zora. Not the worst use of 500 rupees. And he's going to pick up the fire shield, which you don't see a lot of runners do. It looks like now he's going to make the climb up Death Mountain. He's going to check all the chests that are up here. Looks like Ninban's gonna make the same play. He's gonna check all of Death Mountain now. Hera's in logic with the hook shot. So you got Paradox Cave, 7 items. For anybody who's curious why this is Paradox Cave, just think of it in terms of where the entrances and levels are. We start off with 2 red rupees in here.
Yeah, 2 big 20s. But yeah, with all of these items available, it makes sense that they would come here and check these. Easily one of the most item dense places in the whole game.
So yeah, I mean, a nice green potion there, but beyond that, not much really in Paradox Cave. But we actually don't need a lot still to finish off this seed. I think the biggest thing we need at this point is the Fire Rod. And maybe Bombos if that was needed for Meyer. I could be wrong on that, but I think if we find the Fire Rod, and assuming Bombos isn't needed, Fire Rod is go mode? Or at least for us, no mode. You know, we see Cfalcon coming into Mimic Cave. He knows there's a sword in here, and he's going to grab it. Yeah, just kind of taking stock on our dungeons. They can complete Desert. They can complete Hera. Swamp's completable. Thieves' Town is completable. Yeah, you just need the Fire Rod for Skull Woods, Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock. And actually, you might be able to get to Ice Palace with Bombos. So if Meyer is not Bombos, we're just a Fire Rod away from basically knowing where everything we need is. We've got Ninban, he's going to go into Hera. See, Compass is the first item here.
And then thankfully the big key right there.
A unique item can be dug up.
Can be dug up.
That would be the hint for the boots. Alright, so we got Ninban climbing. There's the map. And there's a joke hint. Here's the first item, a 5 rupee, or blue rupee. It's going to be a 50-50 shot on whether the second item is on Moldorm or if it's going to be in the basement. Ninban taking on Moldorm. Oh, almost fell down that middle hole. You never want to go down the middle hole.
Yeah, the middle hole is bad news. And you'll drop 2 floors, and it's a long walk of shame back up.
So Ninban got the small key from Moldorm, so there is 1 item in the basement. And Ninban's gonna check it. Now Cfalcon's going to take on Moldorm as well. Spin and a slash, and Moldorm is down. We'll see if Cfalcon decides to turn around and come back to check the basement as well. He's going to check the basement as well. We're about to find out on Ninban's side if it's worth it. Nope, just bombs.
Oh, some bombs. A pack of M80s.
Cfalcon's going for coffee break strat. Ninban's gonna come over here now. Oh, he's gonna check laser bridge. So with Burna, I'm not sure exactly when Ninban got that, but with Burna, this is in logic. And we start with the bug net. Got a small key, 5 rupees, and the big key. So he did have to come in this way. But without Burna, Ninban can't really do anything else in there. And our tracker says that Burna was in the hookshot cave. There's another heart container for Cfalcon. Up to 8. Definitely like to see that at this point.
Yeah, it's a good amount of health for hard mode.
And Ninban's gonna go pick up his tempered sword. So with some of the dungeon access these runners have, I'm a little surprised they haven't been checking the dungeons a little bit more. I mean, I can't blame their moves. They're checking item dense locations. And actually, I guess to be fair, Ninban is going into Turtle Rock right now, so he is checking a dungeon now.
Yeah, but also at the same point, like I get what you're getting at. Particularly for Ninban, we could point out the fact that he hasn't been to Swamp Palace yet.
Now, Ninban found the flutes. Unfortunately, in inverted mode, the flute is not required at all. It's nice for transit, but you don't need it. Yeah, I guess, chat, to be fair, they did also just do Hera.
And then we do have Cfalcon checking Laser Bridge as well. Which is definitely, obviously, it's something that needs to be checked. And it makes sense that he's checking it at the moment. But you would think that hopefully after this he goes and checks like Desert Palace. Because he did find that book. That's something that he can complete. And something that he has to complete with an all dungeon seed.
Meanwhile, where is Ninban headed? Oh, he's activating his flute, of course. Looks like Cfalcon's having a little bit of trouble on Laser Bridge. Yeah, unfortunately, the fact he's not using Burnout makes me think it's not useful for this bridge, and the window to dash by the lasers is not very big. You can usually know if you're in a good spot is if the laser's firing at you but not hitting you, but it is a bit of a tricky dash to get through these. We finished up Laser Bridge, though. Ninban checks the bats, only a big 20, so the green pendant really didn't lead to anything. The powder's still nice for safety, though. And at least can take out anti-fairies. Well, Cfalcon with Samaria gonna have a little bit easier time navigating through Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he can check things that Ninban could not.
And I think Ninban's going to make the Swamp Palace play, which is good for him. If he full clears it, he'll get Samaria. Ooh, Cfalcon having a little trouble with this roller. Oh. That's an unfortunate death.
Yeah, he does take a death there. He did get the flute, though. Which is kind of the important thing.
Yeah, he did get the flute, so he doesn't have to go do that chest again.
But obviously he's going to go back through and continue pressing through the rest of the dungeon.
So, as we mentioned before, at this point, we're just a fire rod from no mode for us. Both runners do need to pick up the fire rod. On Ninban's side, he needs the book and Samaria as well. And then on Cfalcon's side, he needs a medallion from Meyer. Unfortunately, we don't know which medallion because we have not gotten a clear look at the Meyer medallion requirement yet. At this point, in terms of dungeons, Ninban has a slight advantage there. He's essentially cleared 5 dungeons to Cfalcon, who's only cleared 4. If you count Aga Tower as a dungeon, which in this mode we should.
Yeah, for sure. And then Ninban is working his way through Swamp Palace, which is only going to further advance him in terms of dungeons cleared.
Alright, lava chest here. 10 arrows. So, unless Cfalcon finds the fire rod, there's only 2 more chests he can check in logic in here. That'd be the Chain Chomp chest, and then the... there's a chest to the left of the start. I forget if that's the compass or the map chest. We're gonna go into the chain chomp room. There's our map. One more chest Cfalcon can check. He's got to be careful going through this room so he doesn't take... He could take one hit. He's going to use a potion for safety. Does not want to have to come back through here. And it was just a key. So at this point, Turtle Rock is locked off to us until we have Fire Rod. Meanwhile, Ninban starting his Argus fight. With Tempered Sword, this will be considerably faster than Cfalcon's fight was. So let's see what Cfalcon's next move in is. Ninban finishes up Swamp. Oh, he's picking up a blue potion. That's a nice feature to inverted mode. They changed the red potions in Swamp to blue, or the red potions in shops to blue potions, so you don't get locked in the seed. Of course, in this mode, blue potions only restore, I believe, half health and only half magic. And Ninban is heading over to... Looks like he's heading over to Mini Moldrum Cave, which is good for him, because he'll get his book here. But did Ninban skip the left side of Swamp?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he did.
The big key, which would lead to the cane.
So that is bad for Ninban, because he will not get his cane. Now, there was a hint. There was a hint at Ice Rod Cave that the chest has a unique item, but Ninban might be not even think about Ice Rod Cave either.
And then, speaking of the book, we have Cfalcon, who's going to check Bombos Tablet, and then hop down and do Desert.
Oh, Ninban is heading towards Ice Rod Cave. Okay. If he mirrors here, he'll get the hint. And he's going to. So this might save him. Yeah, he's checking the hint, so he'll get the hint that there's something in the big chest of Swamp Palace. He'll probably be a little annoyed, but that might save him. He's going back to 4. He might be heading straight back into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, he realized, he's like, I done goofed. I gotta go back.
So that hint just saved Ninban, most likely. He'll still lose a couple minutes as he has to redrain the swamp, or redrain the dam, but it could have been a lot worse. But meanwhile, we've got Cfalcon and Desert. This is some new checks for us. 2 items in here. Map in the first chest means this was boots locked. Another joke hint. Though,
What do you
as a
mean?
hint was-
Dodongo dislikes smoke is actually very helpful.
It is, yeah, that is actually very helpful for the original Link. 8-bit, or yeah, 8-bit Link is bringing some of his hints into the 16-bit era. So there's the big key. I don't think we've seen either item yet, so there's gonna be an item in the big chest and an item on Land Molas. What does the big chest have? A 20. I mean, just looking at how this race is going at this point, I feel like the runner that's going to have the advantage is whoever's going to find this fire rod first.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because as far as we know, the fire rod is the last required item. Unless Meyer needs Bombos to get inside. Which is something we'll probably find out soon. I feel like Cfalcon is going to check that after he finishes up with Desert here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's right here. There's no better time to check the Meyer Shed and the Meyer Shed and the... Actually, he could already get to check Ward Cave, so... But Ninban's gonna grab his big key over here, get back to the big chest, and get his cane. Ninban does have the dungeon advantage with 6 done. But Cfalcon, I feel like, is in a slightly better position with his items right now. Though, as soon as Ninban picks up this cane, they'll be about even in terms of items. And Ninban actually might have a bit of an advantage with those 2 medallions. Though one was in the Meyer Shed.
Alright, and there's Ninban getting his can of Samaria. And he's kind of in the area I would assume that he's going to head over to the desert as well.
Oh, and there's
the fire rod.
So Cfalcon needs to mirror. If Meyer is Ether, Cfalcon is basically in go mode. If it's Quake, Ninban, I think, has a huge advantage. If it's Bombos, we have another search to do.
Yeah, he's right here. He's in a mirror. Let's see.
It's Quake. That is huge for Ninban. So that gives Ninban a huge advantage. It depends on how long it takes Cfalcon to go do the Smiths.
Yeah, I would say Ninban has the clear lead at this point. But yeah, if Cfalcon goes straight and does the Smiths right now, it's going to be a very close race.
I would actually, yeah, even if Cfalcon does the Smiths right now, which it looks like he's doing, I still give the advantage to Ninban because Ninban's already finished up Thieves Town. He's already done Aga. So, yeah, we'll have to see. And it actually doesn't even look like... I don't know where Cfalcon's going right now.
No, he's in the... Because as an all-dungeons run, he needs to do Skullwood, so this makes sense.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just a matter of fact of... Again, yeah, if he does Smiths right after this... I would totally agree with you that Ninban is still ahead. But yeah, in terms of a close race, we want to see Falcon go to the Smiths right after this.
Yeah,
but definitely from his perspective, this makes total sense.
Yeah, we could see Cfalcon finish off Mothula, go finish off Blind as well, and then go do the Smiths. that all would make complete sense for him. Yeah, assuming Ninban finishes off Landmolus, he's going to have the lead, and this might be his race to lose. Which, being hard mode, this is not necessarily a slam dunk. Alright, Mothula fight for Cfalcon. And Mothula fight's done. Alright. Oh, since he's still looking for Quick, he's going to come back in and check the second item that's back here. And Ninban grabs his Fire Rod. He is at 1 hour 27 minutes. He's the first runner into go mode.
Yeah, he's gonna mirror over. He's gonna do Meyer, and then Skullwood's Ice Palace should be super quick.
Yep, we can go mode Ice Palace. Just has to go to the back of Skullwoods. Turtle Rock, you basically just have to jump down to the laser bridge and kill Trinex.
Yeah, it's funny. He's super far ahead of Cfalcon.
And I'd say for a while in this race, it did feel like Cfalcon had the advantage. But Ninban just has worked his way back into the lead. And honestly, I think it is, again, that it's that hint tile that by Ice Rod Cave that saved him. Because if that hint tile was not there, he might be looking everywhere for that King of Samaria.
Oh, 100%. Because, yeah, as soon as he read that, he's like, oh, shoot, I need to go back and open up that Swamp Big chest. And if that wasn't there, he would have just continued along merry way and followed all of the options he had available to him.
Cfalcon's going to take a minute to activate his flutes. Most likely he'll mirror right here and go into Thieves Town. Not a quick mire for Ninban. No big key in the first few chests. Alright. Oh, where is Cfalcon going now? Okay, he's gonna go back and do Skull. Oh, he was just in Skullwoods. Oh, he hasn't checked the big checks to Skullwoods yet. Ninban has his big key. He's heading towards Mothula. He's just, at this point, getting further and further ahead. I mean, at the rate
Yeah,
Ninban's, at the rate Ninban's going, he could do this in sub 2, which is kind of amazing to say for a seed like this.
Yeah, for sure. He has he's obviously got Kill Vitreous here, which isn't gonna take that long. Skullwoods and Ice Palace when you're in go mode, super quick dungeons.
Turtle Rock, he just has to jump to the laser bridge. Then just
inverted mode, Turtle Rock, he can come in through the back door. It's not gonna take very long either. So yeah, as you said, like if he can easily do some sub 2.
Which, for all dungeons inverted hard mode, that is pretty incredible. But he does have to be careful here in Vitreous. This Vitreous fight is not a gimme in any way. He's only got 3 hearts. Doesn't have silver, so he'll have to do this in a more traditional way. He's powdering every anti-fairy he can find at this point for magic. Or for hearts.
And even if he did have silvers, you cannot use them outside of Ganon.
That's right. That is I think that's a more recent change to hard mode. That silvers only work in Ganon's room.
So yeah, with 5 hearts, let's see how he does. He can do 5 hearts. You can do a vast majority of the work on this boss, but taking a rogue eye hit there is kind of a big deal.
He's going to use some arrows to help. Normal arrow shots are still nice damage.
Arrows do, yeah, a lot of damage to these eyeballs. It makes a lot of sense, especially once he took damage. I think Vitreous is one of the scariest bosses in this game when your resources are
when your resources are limited like this.
Yeah, when they're limited like this.
But he's got the eyeballs down, he's firing the arrows into the big eyeball, and Vitreous is down. Very nice fight.
Yeah, that was a very nice kill. Yeah, because your health, like in an NMG run or like just like a normal randomizer run, your health is your biggest resource against Vitreous, and when it's limited, because you normally damage boost through the goo and do as much damage to all of the little eyeballs as possible. When you take that away, it becomes a very, very difficult fight.
So Ninban is out of Mire, and I'm not sure where he's going right now. Oh, he's gonna go buy some potions. Which, yeah, you can't simply flute up there. He has to take this route to get to the potion shop. We've got Cfalcon on blind. With sword beams, it helps a little bit in this fight. You can get some distance shots on him. On her. But a blind down. That'll be Cfalcon's 7th dungeon. At this point, the big move for him, he needs to go grab the blacksmith right now. If he goes straight to the blacksmith, he's still got a chance.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do that. Although he is moving down towards that direction. Okay, well, it looks like he's gonna go do the magic bat.
Yeah, he's gonna fake powder. Fake powder is just a little interesting glitch you can do. You basically deplete your magic, and then you try to use the Cane of Samaria, and as you hear the arrow sound, you flip to the mushroom, and it gives you the powder effect.
Yeah, it's a silly nuance in the way the items work. And in the vanilla game, it's literally worthless. But like in this, it can actually have a huge effect.
Well,
The ability to access an item extremely early is pretty big.
well, I don't know if I'd say if it's worthless in the vanilla game. Some runners do just grab in an MG, just grab the mushroom and those big powder towards the end of their runs.
That's true. It's not worthless actually, because like as you mentioned, like you can just grab the mushroom, and you can use it to make fairies from anti-fairies.
But
in dungeons, primarily again is tower. But the ability to check the magic bat here.
Yeah. But sorry to cut you off here. So Cfalcon wanted to go for the Smiths, but he mirrored in the wrong spot, and he's going to go for Ice Palace instead now. Unfortunately, that's a huge hit for him. Because he was on the right track to get his Quake Medallion and hit Go mode. And now he's going to do a full clear of Ice Palace. That was really unfortunate because not only did he hit the warp at the wrong point, it was at a certain point that it didn't let him just rewarp back to the light world so he could try again. So rather than use the time to go back to the portal to give it a second shot, he just decided to move on. And unfortunately, that's just going to put him further behind as Ninban is going to just go mode Ice Palace.
Yeah, and the difference between go moding Ice Palace and actually full clearing it like Cfalcon is going to do is immense.
Yeah. So, I mean, assuming Ninban doesn't make any big mistakes, this is his race at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Link continues to bring over these Zelda 1 hints into this version of the game. So Ninban has his cold stare down. Just has to go to Skull Woods, then go to Turtle Rock. He can really do those in either order because, well, either way he's probably going to flute to 4 as soon as he finishes up both of those. Since you can't, in Inverted, you can't simply go from Turtle Rock to Ganon's Tower, because Ganon's Tower has also relocated to Hyrule Castle. Ninban, grabbing his 1 key, just needs to go kill Mothula quick. Cfalcon's continuing his search through Ice Palace. About the only thing that can really help him at this point is if he finds the silvers in here. Well, there's another heart container that also kind of helps. Alright, here's Ninban's Mothula fight. There's our Bombo, so we absolutely did need to find that fire rod. Ninban's got Mothula down. That's his 10th dungeon, essentially. He just has to finish off Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower. Cfalcon finds a red boomerang. Gonna go kill Cold Stare now.
Yeah, we got Ninban racing towards the Turtle Rock entrance. And this is like the point. This is the point in the run where, like, you, at least for me, you always feel nervous once you're in go mode and you're approaching your final dungeon. But Ninban is significantly in the lead at this point.
Yeah, so Cfalcon, the Cold Stare Puff's got a little bit away from him, but he still has a pretty good time on this fight. Cold Stare's down, and I gotta imagine at this point Cfalcon's most likely gonna head to... Actually, can't get into Mire. At this point, he's gotta go... No, he's gonna probably go kill Trinex next. Or go check the rest of Turtle Rock. Yeah, in terms of Ninban, yeah, you're definitely getting nervous at this point because, I mean, especially he's probably thinking back to that time he spent in bunny form. And that's definitely got to hurt a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like at this point in the race, you look over everything that you've done and you're like, oh, if I had done this instead of this, or like had I done this first, blah blah blah. Like you start looking over all the mistakes and you become hypercritical.
Yeah, exactly. Ninban is getting tracks down, already has the Firehead down, Icehead down, just needs to hit that body a couple times, and he will have all the dungeons down, except for Ganon's Tower. And that is Trinex down. And with that, I think it's time to start up our game. This Ninban should be on his way to Ganon's Tower. Alright, so for those of you who aren't familiar with our little game, there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower where the Ganon's Tower Big T key... Big T... Let me try that again.
The big T.
There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower where the Ganon's Tower Big Key can be. Get your chest guesses in chat, 1 to 22, on where you think it will be. If you've subscribed to one of the Speed Gaming channels or have donated 250 bits or more, you are eligible to be entered into the leaderboard.
What's your guess, JP?
I usually go with 15. What about you?
I'm gonna go with 1.
You think it's gonna be a really fast GT? But yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with inverted mode, here's the new location of Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, over on Cfalcon's side, he's checking this mushroom. He needs to go back to... Sorry, go ahead.
So I guess that's the thing that needs to be pointed out, maybe a little bit, that Aghanim's Tower and Ganon's Tower have been switched in this mode. So if you didn't see the beginning of the run, or like the first half, Ninban did do Aghanim's Tower, but that was at Ganon's Tower.
So we saw our first location, it was a small key. Ninban is going to continue
I meant second.
Okay. Ninban's continuing on the left side. Oh, there it is, number 2.
See, that's what I meant the whole time.
So it looks like nobody guessed 2. The closest was a guess of 1 from Unholy
I guessed 2.
Osiris. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking at a sub 2 from Ninban at this point. He's got to finish his climb, but he's going to put up a very impressive time.
Yeah, definitely not a bad time whatsoever.
I think Cfalcon's going to go back for the Smith at this point. And the man's going to take the safety room. Don't blame him at all with only 2 hearts left. And Cfalcon's actually going to pull the pedestal first. And there's a big 20 on the pedestal for him.
Honestly, I mean, clearly Cfalcon is extremely behind, and he's gonna end up likely losing this race. But that pedestal check is not a bad call on his part. Particularly if an all dungeon steed, since you have to grab all the pendants, it's not a big deal to actually check that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like it's just one of those things like, it makes sense, but unfortunately it's not right kind of deal.
So Cfalcon gets the mirror spot right this time.
And then, yeah, here is the right thing.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty frustrating moment for Cfalcon. And there's Quake. He's not happy. But he's in go mode now. So on Ninban's side, unless we see those silver arrows in one of these last 4 chests, we're looking at an 8 hearts blue male tempered sword Ganon fight. Silverless. Oh, that hurts a little bit, but he's just gonna use a potion, okay. Oh, he's not even gonna look for silvers, he's just gonna go for it. Here's the Moldorm 2 fight for Ninban, as Cfalcon is going into Misery Mire.
Yeah, Ninban unfortunately got like a sword poke there. So it took an extra cycle, and Moldorm got fast, but overall he handled it very well.
Alright. Ninban coming up to Aga 2. And And he starts with a triple. And another triple. A very impressive Aga 2 from Ninban. You can't do it better than that. And now it's time for the relocated Ganon fight. This fight is definitely This is definitely not a given fight for Ninban. He's got to be careful. Alright, Ninban gonna 2-cycle through phase 1, it looks like. So thank you for the bit donations from Unholy Osiris. Ninban's into phase 2. He's got not a great position for Ganon there. He's already into phase 3 though. Ninban getting his lamp ready. He's gonna have to do Silverless Ganon. So he definitely wants to hit that torch glitch. Alright, here's phase 4. The arrows were in Ganon's tower. He has the torch glitch, 12 spins now. He's going to use that fire rod to get some better positioning. That's 3 hits so far. Had a little skip there, so I'm not exactly sure what the count is now. But he is handling this Silverless Ganon very well. Just need a few more hits. And Ganon is down. All Ninban has to do is walk across that bridge and he will win this race.
Yeah, he just has to not fall like 8 times.
And Ninban is officially finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 24 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for him. That was a very impressive performance by Ninban, doing sub 2 hours in an all dungeons inverted hard mode seed. I mean, that is impressive. And we are joined now here in chat with Ninban, the winner of our race. GG, Ninban.
Thank you.
So, give us your initial thoughts on that.
When my big error was not going in bot. I did too many seeds lately where bot was bullocked, so I just assumed it outright. That was wrong. But I got super bailed out by the Dark World hint about Swamp.
Yeah, if you had not gotten that hint, we got to imagine you would still be searching the Dark World for that Tina Samaria right now.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, I mean, I'd say that was the biggest thing early on is you chose to do Super Bunny locations over going to Pod. That definitely gave Cfalcon an early lead. But you just caught up with your routing after that. I'd say the biggest move for you was doing that blacksmiths early because that was what ended up getting you ahead.
Yeah, that ended up being a huge difference between you and Cfalcon.
Yeah, I saw it on the Steam in the 20 minutes. I had to wait. It's really on date for him.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. It was a bit unfortunate for him because he just mirrored in the wrong spot, and that just really hurt him.
And now I'm learning they sell blue potions in shops. Wow, nice.
Sorry, what? Can you repeat that?
They have blue potion shops in the Dark World.
Oh, you didn't. Yeah, we saw you go to the Light World
Yeah.
potion shop to get some potions. That's a nice little feature they added in, into Inverted.
Well, that's nice. You learn things even after finishing the seeds.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking at your time here. 1 hour, 53 minutes, 22 seconds for all dungeons hard inverted. I mean, that's got to be a really incredible time for you.
I guess it's the first time I do a regular inverted. I only did 2 inverteds before. Kisan, it's a maximum randomizer thing. I never finished. So, but yeah, the question is good too. I will let you see at the end of my slideshow. But I didn't many deaths, although I was close a couple times. That Helmazor fight was a bit spicy.
Yeah.
I died on blind, but it's not that big, and I had to hobble on videos too. I had to go.
Interesting, just looking at your slideshow here. Just seeing what was on the pedestal. Cfalcon actually pulled a 20 off the pedestal, but apparently it was a shield.
Oh yeah, because he got there's only 2 shields in hard mode, and I don't even know where he got his second one.
He picked it up from the Zora ledge.
Oh yeah, I never went to that area. That was where I was going to go after I saw Cave, but getting that hint, I just rushed back in Swamp, and that put me. Well, I just did Mire and Desert because there were dungeons, and that put me in go mode.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely the right move to go back to Swamp, and yeah, that's an occasion of just that new hint system saving you. I mean, can't speak enough about that.
Well, it could have been like I don't know, the Cape. And it would be, nice waste of time.
There's definitely stuff it could have been that wouldn't have helped you out, like the cape.
But,
Actually,
I mean, yeah, continue.
Actually, like the only thing we haven't really figured out a location for yet is the cape. Actually, Cape and Titan's Myths. We haven't seen either of those yet.
We're going to guess they're both in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, most likely. So I think you had one race before this, right? I think you're 1-1 now.
Yeah, that's right. I had 1 loss against Mechanics. It was on all dungeons, open, randomized sword, the usual thing.
Okay. Is there anything that drew you towards this selection for this race? I
wanted to play that. Yeah, that's just that. I wanted to play Inverted, hard mode, all dungeons, because I like doing all dungeons actually. And on Colossal, I think it was I think it's nice that you don't necessarily get a sword at the beginning, but you get a sword like with your light world access. As soon as you go to the castle area, you can get a second sword there.
Yeah, definitely. You got a sword as soon as you basically hit Light World. And swords were actually nice for you guys. You found one in Village of Outcasts. You got one from Uncle. Then you got a hint that there was one in Mimic Cave.
Yeah, that was nice. And I really wanted that sword because before all the other hard dungeons, like Swamp, Ice, Mire, etc. So I went there first.
So, with 2 races down, how do you feel so far? I mean, it's only 2 races, but how do you feel so far about the tournament?
Well, it's fun. It's pretty much an all dungeons tournament.
We've been seeing a lot of runners choose all dungeons.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many Randomizer. It seems like people just want to get into a competitive, like, less gamble possible.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of runners have been. Why a lot of runners have been choosing all dungeons is to reduce some of the randomness. I mean, obviously, as we've seen in a seed like this, all dungeons doesn't necessarily mean the randomizer is not going to get you at some point. But having to do all the dungeons definitely reduces the chances of that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at...
like, I never checked my map or.
I didn't even notice that.
It's a dungeon, yeah.
That's a good point. You don't really have to check your map in all dungeons. I mean, you can if you want to know like where Green Pendant is or what you need for the like the Pyramid Bomb, but don't actually have to if you don't want to. Yeah, looking at your collection right here, though, 146 out of 216. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I told you that it's a good collection. Even if it was just a usual seed. Well, having like the Big King and Ganon Tower be the second chest contributed a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were able to, second chest, Big Key, and Ganon's Tower. You were able to go mode Ice Palace. I don't know if there's anything else you were actually able to go mode completely in terms of dungeons beyond that, though. But
Mire, I go mode Mire. I got the Big Key.
That's right, you did go mode Mire as well.
Yeah, and I didn't spend too much time in Turtle Rock. I only got the 4 chests on the laser bridge and the big key chest and the chest after that. That's all the time I spent in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I will say that's maybe another area where Cfalcon lost some time compared to you, because when he went into Turtle Rock, he already had the Keen of Samaria, so he basically full cleared everything he could in Turtle Rock.
I see, yeah. I don't even know if activating the flute was beneficial for me. Feel like I almost did not use it.
Maybe a little. I'm not 100% sure if it was fully worth the time. But, I mean, in Inverted, obviously the flute's not a required item anymore. You don't need it to get into the Mire area.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I had nothing to say.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you too long here. So, any other thoughts you had on the seed?
That was a nice one. The early sword Ali was welcome. I didn't want to. Well, it's not swordless, so I knew I had to get a sword before doing a Ganim's Tower. But the tower itself was fine with just the fighter sword. And yeah, I'm just glad that I didn't die to any other bosses other than Blind.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, again, good race from you. Good to see you get to 1-1, and still have plenty of races to go. Are you gonna stick with this mode, or are you gonna mix it up for the other ones you get to choose?
I don't know yet. I really don't know. I just got this mode on by instinct, but I really don't know what I'm gonna do next. Maybe I'll continue with all dungeons, but I don't know. Maybe I'll mix up with open, maybe with Randomizer.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to your matches against Willard?
Yeah, Yeah, actually, I think it will be pretty fun because I think we're both very much on the same level. If I just go back to the races I did against him on SRL and others, sometimes I beat him, sometimes he beat me, so it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, got a message for him you want to give him right now, or you gonna hold that for private?
Just you wait.
That's a good message. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for an interview here. Good race from you, and have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. So we've got Cfalcon continuing his climb up. He's got his GT big key. He actually did a little less scouting for us, and he found the Titan's mitts for us. The Titan's mitts were in GT, which is a possible location for them in inverted, because the only location that 100% requires the mitts in inverted is King's Tomb. Beyond that, you don't need the mitts in inverted. But yeah, Cfalcon is continuing his climb up Ganon's tower. He's in decent shape right now. 11 hearts, blue mail. He's got some potions. He should be in good shape, but he's going to take the safety room, just to be 100% sure. So at this point, it's just a matter of executing up the tower for him. Yeah, as we were talking about in the interview, you know, it's the biggest thing for him was his biggest time loss was really that miss mirror going for the blacksmith, because that caused him to clear out some extra stuff. It probably would not have put him ahead of Ninban, but it definitely was a significant time loss. But I mean, in terms of the way that Cfalcon has played this seed, he's played it really well. I mean, he's going to finish probably around a 2:15, which is going to be still a really good time for all dungeons hard inverted. It's just, you know, I think it was more rando this time than anything else that got him. He had a lead for a while in this seed too. It just kind of how it played out for him. But I mean, credit to him, he's going to finish out the seed. It looks like on Land Molus 2. Gonna have a few cycles here. Land Molus 2 is down. So, on his way through the Wizrobe rooms, had a nice Wizrobe 1, nice Wizrobe 2, as he continues his climb. We'll see if he checks some chests for silvers, because we know Ninban just skipped everything after he found the big key. We'll see if Cfalcon elects to check for those silver arrows, and I think he's going to, based on him checking the extra chests in the room where he found the big key. So he's taking it slowly, give him the magic refill. There is a chance to despawn the tower if you head up those stairs at the same second or the same frame that the door recloses. But he avoids that nicely. And he's going to check these chests. There's a 20. There's some bombs. Two more chests to check for those silvers. Blue rupee. So just one more chest. But first you got Moldorm 2 to deal with. And Moldorm 2 has been dealt with. And here, our last chest is... There's the cape! So, the only item that we did not see in this seed was the silvers. We saw every other item. Alright, here's Aga 2 for Cfalcon. We saw Ninban get a triple-double. How will Cfalcon handle this one? He starts with a triple as well. Not quite the triple-double, but he just needs one more shot. And Aga 2's down. So still very nice. Now he's just got a silverless Ganon fight to finish out this seed. Eleven Hearts Blue Mail, not a given fight, but he should be in good shape. And if he really wants to, he does have the cape, but it will use double magic. Looks like he's might get the 2-cycle here. Yep, he's got the 2-cycle. Should be on to phase 2. He is gonna use that cape. As you see, it's depleting his magic pretty quickly, but might 1-cycle phase 2 as a result of it. Nope, not quite. Of course, he stocked up on potions before coming into this fight, so he's in good shape. So just got 4 slashes in phase 3, and then the silverless phase 4. Just one more slash. I believe Ninban also got a bunch of teleports here. And here we are on phase 4. Going for the torch glitch. And he's got it. Now just 12 spins to finish off Ganon. He's low on magic, but he should have more potions if needed. Now, of course, the other thing to remember about these potions is he only refills magic halfway, so he still does have to be somewhat careful. But it's 5 spins so far. There's the 6th. He's halfway done. There's 8. Just 2 more spins. And Ganon is down. As soon as Cfalcon crosses the bridge, he will finish. And Cfalcon has officially finished the race with an SRL time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 33 seconds. Get your GGs in the chat for him. And we'll see if he's going to join us for an interview or not. Yep, looks like we have him in the waiting room, so let's bring him in. Alright, we have Cfalcon now joining us here in chat. GG on that run.
Thanks.
So, I mean, you said you have a funny story to tell about what happened. I think we saw it on stream, but you want to give your version of it?
I guess when I was trying to pick up the blacksmith, I was trying to mirror into the forest or something. I have no idea. And I mirrored and I was stuck. I tried to get back in the portal, it wouldn't let me. It didn't let me mirror bonk. And I was just stuck, and I'm like, well, crap. I gotta flute out of here. I could either come back and try this again, or I could just flute off to some other place and check. And unfortunately, of course, the blacksmith had Quake, which is what I was looking for Go mode the whole time.
Yeah, we saw that in chat. As soon as we saw that, we were cringing ourselves because we knew that was pretty bad for you. I mean, I don't think that by itself decided this race, but it definitely was a significant time loss.
Oh yeah, no. Certainly. The other thing I know for a fact I did, it seemed like forever, is I think for the longest time I was also looking for Fire Rod and just never really made my way over to Desert. And...
Yeah, both of you were looking for Fire Rod for a while. I mean, you had the book first, but you both ended up going to Desert around the same time.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I kind of knew at that point I didn't have a medallion, and I was really hoping, okay, I want to pick up some sort of medallion so I can combo Mire and Desert together, and then I got to the point where it's like, well, this Fire Rod can't be in too many places, so it's probably over here. And I thought Quake might have been Fire Rod locked or something, but obviously it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, start this race off, though. You had a pretty good lead. You were the first that dipped pod, found that loaded pod. That really helped you build an early lead. Yeah,
I have got to be completely honest. Inverted, standard, open, doesn't matter what seed. I think that's the first time I've ever seen, well, first of all, both hammer and bow in pod. And then the Moon Pearl was just the icing on the cake, although I'm sure I had everyone extremely nervous when I decided with 3 hearts, like, oh, okay, I'll just go and try kill Helmasaur, and then I almost died because I miscounted the number of arrows that had hit him, so that would have been really bad, but survived that, thankfully, and then, it just kind of nicely transitioned into routing into the light world and kind of working my way around, but admittedly, I'll be the first to say, I haven't played enough inverted seeds to know how to route it properly yet. I just kind of went along with whatever I could check.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of people are still new to this seed, new to this mode, so, I mean, definitely still ways you can optimize.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how else the seed went. Yeah, you had some good moments there. You dove pod first, you dove swamp first, and found that cane. I mean, I don't know how much you talked to Ninban about the seed. I'd say the moment that saved Ninban was the Dark Ice Rod area hint, because he left swamp and didn't check left side.
Oh, okay. I admit, when I saw the Canis Mara in the big chest, I thought, okay, this might be an opportunity, and then of course, I ended up reading that hint later, and I was like, dang it! Because yeah. I figured it inverted with the mirror and everything, if you go over to Ice Rod Cave, that someone would mirror and check that hint, so... As soon as I saw that, I'm like, man, don't give that away. I figured that was some sort of advantage, but hey, that's kind of the beauty of the hints, is that sometimes they can lead you in the right direction, sometimes they can save you if you gamble and it's wrong, so...
Yeah, that's fair. So, you take the loss today. Was this your first match? Have you played a couple matches so far? Or?
So this was my first match in the tournament.
Okay. I mean, a bit of a tough loss there, but you still have 14 matches to go, so plenty of time to still get some more practice in. Get ready for some future matches, get some wins out there. Do you have any kind of indication on how you want to play the matches you get to decide?
Well, admittedly, honestly, I thought for the most part, I wouldn't necessarily pick this particular setup that Ninban picked for us today, but I actually do not mind all dungeons because unfortunately, in this seed, unfortunately, it kind of showed that I usually favor dungeons over overworld anyway, and I end up usually full clearing every dungeon. So I don't mind all dungeons at all, and so for me, I thought admittedly this mode was actually going to play like into my strengths, despite it being hard mode, and admittedly me not knowing some of the quirks of hard mode until I practiced last night, like how the boomerang doesn't actually stun things. I found that out the hard way, but yeah, I was just kind of learning some of the quirks of hard mode on the spot, and I even realized one today is when I tried to do the normal like strat with a tempered sort of one cycling phase 2 again, and then I realized, oh crap, this cape is just draining my magic.
Yeah, cape. It is still useful, but it does use double magic in that situation.
Yeah.
So, see, I don't want to keep you too long here, but any final thoughts on the seed?
The only other thing I was going to ask real quick is because you said I had an early lead, and then obviously I know things turned, and of course the Quake medallion would have been part of that, but was there anything else in particular that like happened that might have turned? Because there was a lot of periods where I felt like I wasn't doing much, so
well, I think the other thing that might have cost you some time is when you guys went into Turtle Rock, I'd say around the same time. Ninban didn't have the Cane of Samaria yet, so he didn't full clear Turtle Rock while you did. That definitely, I'd say, cost you some time. You did have a little bit of trouble on Laser Bridge. Ninban had a pretty clean Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I unfortunately, not being an NMG runner, I don't know Laser Skipper off the top of my head. That was me sort of trying to practice and figure it out.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm playing with the 8-bit Link sprite, which kept confusing me how to line it up properly.
Well, I can give you one hint on that, and that's with the lasers, if you want to do the skips, the way to know that you're kind of in a good position is if the lasers are firing at you, but you're not getting hit. Usually that's a good indicator you're in a good position. Okay,
all right. I will remember that then for next time I have to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's just another matter of practice, getting some practice in, and I'd see you're gonna win some matches down the road here. Just get some more practice in, and watch your match back today. See where Ninban did. I mean, there's another big difference in your collection rates there. 180 versus 146. That was another big reason that Ninban was able to pull ahead.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just get some more practice in. You'll win some matches here as you're going. Just keep at it. I mean, it's only your first match, so plenty of time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Any last thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say, JP, thank you so much for commentating. Thank you to everyone speaking. Of course, for the restream, as always, Tarasu, thank you. He was over the tracker today, so thank you to everyone for putting on these races, because there were tons of races today, and they didn't have to pick this one to restream, so always appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let you get going. Good race today, and have a good rest of your day.
Yep.
All right. With that, we're gonna wrap things up here. So yeah, I like what Cfalcon just said there. Thanks to Tarasu for tracking for us today, doing that job behind the scenes to keep us on track, giving us a couple of hints here and there as we're going. Also, thanks to my co-commentator Swerve. He had to dip out a little bit ago, but thanks to him for joining me on this. In terms of the schedule for today, there's still plenty to go on. I'll pull that up quick for you. So, still going on today, we've got over on Speed Gaming 3 right now, we have Jet 082 versus Chloe Prower doing a Key Sanity race with Dr. Bob and Sir Link-a-Lot calling that. in a couple hours from now, over on Speed Gaming 2, we'll have Phyleon facing Cadenza in a All Dungeons Uncle Assured Key Sanity Seed. And then at 10:30 Eastern, we've got Asmati Games facing Iralis on Speed Gaming 3. And to finish off the day at 11:30, we've got we have Firewood King versus Tadaru in a All Dungeons Seed with we're gonna have Sabatender and Sir Link-a-Lot again on the call there. So definitely plenty to watch today. So make sure you keep watching these matches on the Speed Gaming Networks, ALTTP Randomizer Networks as well. Make sure to give our runners a follow if you enjoyed if they enjoyed them racing today. You know, give our tracker a follow, give my co-commentator a follow, and yeah, make sure you keep watching these races as this tournament is just in our first weekend. We have a lot more to go. So for everyone here, have a good night.